The Ideal Temple Marriage and a Sturdy Home. Part 1 of Chapter 8 of the Marriage Covenant. Advice full of wisdom. The following segments were authored by George Q. Cannon, and taken from the Juvenile Instructor, as referenced. Marriage should be encouraged, but parents, and others who have influence with the young, should be careful to have marriages congenial. No true happiness can result from an ill-assorted marriage. Above all things, care should be taken to impress upon our young people the necessity of marrying those of their own faith. The experience of the past 40 years, since we have lived in these mountains, has given hundreds of illustrations of the unhappy results which follow the marriage of people of our faith with those who are not of our faith. If the Mormon girl who married a man not of her faith has remained true to her religion and her early training and convictions, she has not had a happy life, and too frequently misery has been the result. It is true, there have been a few instances out of the hundreds of cases of this kind where the man has become convinced of the truth of the gospel, and has espoused it, but these instances are so rare as to be very remarkable. In the great majority of cases, girls who have thus married have gradually lost their faith and become aliens to their former associates and to the religion of the Lord. The experience of these many years ought to be a lesson that should not be lost. 227. Side of. Therefore, we say that such unions are not happy ones. The marriage of an ignorant person with an intelligent one is not always attended with happy results. There should be some similarity of taste, of disposition, of training, and certainly of belief, to make a couple congenial. A young man, therefore, in seeking for a partner, and the same may be said of young women, should bear in mind that to live happily through life in the wedded condition, they should have partners of congenial tastes and of similar training. An intelligent, educated girl who marries an ignorant man must either lift him to her level, if she would lead a pleasant life and maintain her self-respect, or she must descend to his level. It is seldom that a woman can lift her husband in this way. She is more likely either to become discouraged and alienated from him, and separated from him, or descend to his level. If she does the latter, she cannot escape the feeling that she is lowering herself and descending from the station she might have occupied. The young man who marries a girl who is not his equal in education or in intelligence is more likely to lift her up to his level, and to inspire her with noble thought, and to develop her higher attributes, than in the other case. There is less danger from such a marriage than in the case of the woman who marries one inferior to herself. Too great care cannot be taken in forming associations. It is an old and a true saying that people are known by the company they keep. No young man can associate with those who are not pure without being, to some extent, injured by the contact. A virtuous girl or woman should shun the society of the unvirtuous, for if they become familiar with vice, they lose their horror of it. Pope has stated it beautifully when he says, 228, vice is a monster of so frightful mien, as, to be hated, needs but to be seen, yet seen too oft. Familiar with her face, we first endure, then pity, then embrace. Those who associate with people who are unvirtuous are themselves in danger. They place themselves in a position where they are liable to be overcome. Familiarity, as the poet says, produces this result. The young man who keeps the company of the profane soon learns to look upon profanity as a trivial thing. He ceases to be shocked at it, and is very liable to fall into the habit himself. So if a young man associates with those who drink liquor and become intoxicated, his familiarity with them and with their habits causes any feeling of repulsion that he might have had to wear away, and he ceases to look upon it as a grave offense. If he continues to associate with them, he is liable to become a drunkard himself. The same is true of gambling and every other vice. No one can associate with those who practice vice without exposing himself or herself to its contamination. The Juvenile Instructor, Volume 26, 315.